Okay, it's that time of year where we're asked to do our self-evaluations and our deliberate practice so that we can start our evaluation process. So I'm going to get you started. The way I go in is I go into the Lake County Schools intranet and I go to Quick Links and choose Excel True North Logic. And if you scroll on down, you'll also get one saying True North Logic Excel, which is the same thing. If you're at home or not on one of our computers, you can just go to lake.truenorthlogic.com and you will enter into here. Now, it does ask you for a password and a username. Your username will be, like mine's Rosenglick S. Yours will be how you get into Windows. Your password, however, is not your Windows password. It's a password that you set up with the county at one time or another. And as you look up here, you'll make sure that you have gone into My Evaluations. And incidentally, if you want to sign up for any professional development with the county, this is how you do it. So I'm in My Evaluations, and mine may look a little different than yours because mine's non-classroom, yours is classroom. When you click the Resources tab, this will give you all of the elements and a description of them. However, when you're in your evaluation, you will also, there's a way to see that as well. Okay, and this is Assign Evaluators, which you don't do, I can't do. And you will go into Evaluation Summary. And so here I am in Evaluation Summary. And I'm in my deliberate practice plan. Now the very first thing you're going to do is the first thing listed here, and that's your assessment observation. You have to self-assess yourself. So you click on there, and remember you're going to go to, I know you don't want to see mine. Go to menu, and you can either choose begin, yours might have if you haven't, and I can choose continue to continue in on mine. Now, you have to go through every single element. This is domain 1. Remember, there are 4 domains, and the first element is providing clear learning goals and scales and rubrics. And you have to evaluate yourself whether you are not using it, beginning, developing, applying, or innovating. And if it's not applicable, I guess that's between you and your administrator. So anyway, I chose applying on this one, and if you're not quite sure what again this means, this can help you. Are you doing all these things? These are all of the necessities in the element, and then you can view the rubric if you're not sure how to grade yourself. Okay, a developing person does clearly provide the learning goal with rubrics, and then applying, as you can see, there's a little bit more, a little bit higher level of using it. And then this one, you create actually new strategies for unique situations and for different types of students. So you go on and you can edit this by making notes to you or your administrator, and I kind of use this area to remind myself of what I've done to deserve the applying level. And your administrator may want to read that as well to say, oh yeah, that's right, he does deserve applying. And so then you go down to number 2, and then you do the same thing. You just grade yourself on whether you're developing, innovating, applying, or whatever. View the rubric to help you define it more, and then edit is for your own notes. And when you're finished with all these and you've filled in all of them, then you can save changes, and then you can share. Okay, and then you can save and exit, and of course, once again, my data was saved. You can always go in with this little arrow and continue it. You can share it, you can delete it, you can do whatever you like to do. Okay, so then I'm going to choose back, and I'm going to go to the next item, which, if it goes back, I will show you. Your self-assessment summary. I'm assuming, I'm going to go in and edit this. I'm assuming this is where I'm going to choose my deliberate practice. This is what I want to do. Okay, that's what it looks like. It says self-assessment summary. this is all I see here, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot. It's asking what you want. I think this should be called deliberate practice. But when I go in here in actions, when I've answered these few questions, and there's not too many, then you'll mark complete. I'm still trying to figure out which one I'm going to do. I'm looking at all the domains. As you can see, domain 1, if you choose something in domain as an instructor, this will refresh your memory on, oh yeah, I needed some help on organizing and deepening knowledge. And then you put what you believe your score is here, and then how you want to change it. What student behavior you see, and then this one is what you expect to see after you've done your year. And then you can, of course, go ahead when you're done with that and save it. I have not done mine yet. And then we'll go back, and then you'll answer all the questions about the deliberate practice that you chose. So this one is you're gonna identify the focus area. So always when you go in, when you're done, you can mark complete, and if you choose to print, you may, but go in and edit, and that'll allow you, baseline set, whatever day you decided that this was going to be your deliberate practice. And then we're supposed to go sometime maybe in January, and what you think your score is at that time, and your anticipated final level of score. So if your baseline, you think you graded yourself on 3, which is applying, and your anticipated level growth is 4, I'm going to say, okay, yeah, I want a 4. I eventually want a 4. So that's what you're going to put. And then the date should probably be sometime in March or April. So again, go in January and see what your next baseline will be. And then again, your final one will be in March or April. And that's when you'll meet with your administrator. And then for these, you're going to write measurable goals in there. You're going to identify specific actions that you're going to take in order to increase this deliberate practice. And this principal acknowledgement is, I believe, for your assistant director, whomever that may be. And then your reflection, which there's 2 required, and those reflections, I believe, are going to be in January. And then just to see how you're doing in those areas. And I'm going to hit back, and I'm going to go back to, this is your final deliberate practice, which will be in March or April. Teacher acknowledgement, that you acknowledge what your principal said, your assistant director, and that's the final thing for them to do. And then here are your observations. Okay, so you've got all of your observations down here. So before your first informal observation, I believe you're supposed to go in here and, just not quite sure. I think that your person who observes you will do that, and then that's when you self-assess it. And then here's some more great stuff. Excuse me, it's down here for your planning conference. Anyway, ignore that part. I just wanted to go over the deliberate practice.